Hey there,
Hello.
it's Tholanda
Chef James.
and we are so happy that you guys are all here with us today. A special hello to everyone that is joining from our virtual wellness gathering. Hello. As you guys know, tonight's topic will be eating well to prevent type 2. We're going to take you through, we're going to share a little bit about ourselves, and we're going to take you through a recipe overview, and then that's all Chef James, and then we'll close it out. And yeah, again, we're just happy that you're here. And again, my name is Tholanda Newborne, and in this season of my life, I get the opportunity to be a lifestyle coach with the National Diabetes Prevention Program, which I'm so ecstatic about, and just really grateful to everyone that continues to tune into our virtual wellness space. And right now, I'll just turn it over to Chef James and let him share a little more about himself and his sidekick over there.
I'm Chef James Bradley, and I've been in Portland 29 years. I am the former chef of Pochines Cafe de la Sol. I was there for 15 years. It's a nonprofit restaurant, and we raise funds to create inner city programs for the youth and for wayward adults. What else is there to know about me? I've been cooking. I'm 50, so I've been cooking the better part of 37 years, somewhere around there. Professionally, 35 years, but went to Baltimore International Culinary College, then went to Culinary Institute of Ameranica, and I apprenticed under a Chef Jan Bandula and Peter Timmons, which was a huge blessing for me because he was the youngest master chef in the world. And this is my son Elijah, and yeah, he's my assistant, and he does great work. He's astute, and yeah, so I guess we should just get it going. We'll be doing a variation of shrimp Creole or seafood Creole. We won't be using any animal protein at all. We'll be using these cakes right here are made of lion's mane mushrooms, and then the scallops right here will be masquerading. These scallops are made from the stems of oyster mushrooms, and we took the liberty of some mushrooms are really stringy. Oyster mushrooms aren't one of the stringiest, but in developing this formula, I felt how could I get it to taste different or take some of the chew out of it? So I settled with poaching them, and poaching's like a simmer, but not like a simmer. So you don't want to boil it at all. So we poach the stems after we cut them for roughly 45 minutes to an hour, and we season the broth. You can use veggie broth. If you're inclined to use chicken broth, that's not vegan, but whatever broth you like to use, go ahead and use it. Just make sure there's lots of flavor. A bay leaf, lemon juice, a little bit of this Old Bay spice, which will take you all the way back to the Maryland, Chesapeake Bay area. It's good for you. And what else is in there? I think that's about it. We'll brown these, add these last. These will be incorporated after we saute up the onions, sage, little baby poblano peppers, cherry tomatoes. Everything here is organic. This is a marinara sauce we had made earlier today, which is also organic. And then margarine and lemon, then some nasturtium flowers. We're really doing it. So
I love it.
I think that's about it. We're going to serve it with brown rice because it's important that, especially for folks who are either pre-diabetic or type 2 or type 1, that you eliminate simple carbohydrates because they immediately turn to sugar in your bodies, and that's on the forefront. And if we're to use bright colored vegetables, we'll have a better life if we use bright colored food. Why? Because those bright colored foods are chock full of electrolytes, chock full of lots of vitamins, nutrients, and some lower your glycemic index. I was doing some reading, I think it was night before last, about butternut squash. And I was reading about acorn squash, which was a trip because the butternut has a glycemic load of like 7, whereas the acorn has something a little lower, around 3, which is a great thing. So I started researching more about spaghetti squashes. So this is the type of year for bright colored vegetables. And then I asked this guy, I was like, hey man, do you think, is the harvest better during the spring, early summer, or fall? What did you say? Do you remember? or he likes early summer, but I'm still torn between fall and early summer. I feel like there's girthier vegetables in the fall because you got a myriad of gourds. I mean, there's so many I can't even remember. I know of about 40 of them that I know what to do with, but there's so many and so many different textures. So that's a lot of fun versus summertime where, you know, you got like salad stuffs, you know what I mean? So it's a trip. So I don't know, you folks decide, test it, try it. So, got anything else?
No, not at the moment. I'm just really excited to see you work your magic and
look down here.
Share with us more about the information
stuff?
that we got going
All
on.
right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, this burner's on, and we're going to mat these a little. We're going to mat these, we're going to call them scallops. I was calling it forest seafood earlier, but that's just what it is to me, forest seafood. So we're going to mat these, meaning take as much moisture away from them as possible. See this for a second, son? And we'll just put them on a paper towel. Why we're doing that, we don't want to splash ourselves in the face. When you incorporate wetness in oil, you're going to have a problem if the word saute means high heat, little oil. So if that's the case and we add these in wet, it's not going to be good for us. So. All right. But then I won't put too much pressure on them, but just enough to gather what I need from them. Again, you don't want to go squeezing them. That's not necessary. But you want to take the majority of the moisture away from them. And you're virtually dabbing them. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you, Chef, what is it that you love and enjoy so much about cooking? Because you always seem like you have such a great time cooking.
Honestly,
yeah.
I
You're such a wealth of knowledge, and you always just seem so excited. So tell us.
That's not a loaded question. It's just I honestly don't know, but what I do know, I do know. I have a gift. And I know that growing up when I was around his age, we moved from the Carolinas up to Virginia, up to DC. And we moved to be closer to my father's siblings.
Yeah.
When what I noticed in our community was there was, everybody had a technical difficulty or something in their body that was, you know, not doing so hot. And then my mother, being my mother, my father was a civil rights activist. He was also a psychotherapist, refused to administer drugs. He believed in talk therapy. But my mother is a sign language interpreter. So communication and education was a big thing in our family. So I noticed that a lot of our family members were just ailing from this, that, and the other. But I also noticed that coming from down home, we didn't eat too many things out of anybody's bag, you know? Everything was from the garden, from auntie's garden, from uncle's garden, from grandma's garden. So it was just, it took me a while to get used to that. So why do I get so excited? I believe it's a form of communication. Food is a different language than what's coming out of my mouth right now. Yeah. So we, grab me some more of that paper towel, son. So I think that's the big thing, that if you look back in your life, all of our lives, happy, sad, doesn't matter, huge decisions were all made around food. So what I think happened was I wanted to make a difference in the world, and I believe the catalyst was my mother. She would go to the ends of the earth to feed us different stuff. And my father's siblings would make fun of her, and I didn't like that. A little more paper towel. I didn't like that, so I followed her lead. Like, she would make lobster on Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? She'd do something completely different than normal, so that got me interested. And then after that, I believe it was pretty much, I was sold. And it's exciting because look at it, you got all these colors. So it's hard not to, for me, it's hard not to be excited. And I have a condition where food talks to me. So my wife and I, we do not go to the grocery store together anymore because I'm more focused on what the food's saying than what she's saying. So that can create a small situation. But Yeah, I think that's why it's exciting, because it invokes change in our body, and it's natural art. It helps us where we need to be helped. And there's a lot of unanswered questions. Like sometimes our body will go this way, you know, forward, backward, up, down, all this other stuff. And I believe that we've been given this product to fix us, whether it be mental health or whether it be biological in our bodies. And we forgot, because a lot of different cultures came to America, okay? But we, assimilating to American ways, we stopped practicing those old ways, and those old ways, I believe, have got us in more trouble. Not having those old traditions, not eating, you know, collard greens or haggis or name it, or paella, name a culture that's got a great food, like, because we stopped eating those things that are indicative to our specific bodies. We ran into trouble physically and biologically. So I think that's why. I know I said a whole lot. Somebody could have stopped me, but
no worries. I really appreciate that about you. Like you really, really love what you do, and you're really great at what you do. And I think we have a really amazing commonality when it comes to me being a lifestyle coach with the National Diabetes Prevention Program, and yourself being an amazing chef. I too got into and was really excited about the opportunity to share with others ways to prevent type 2 diabetes.
Awesome.
You know, just really seeing, and unfortunately, many of my favorite family members have gone on to glory with diabetes. So work just really excites me, and I'm so happy again that you're here. And
I'm excited that you're excited,
Yay.
because like my, including my youngest son, and I have 5 kids, so they all kind of, okay, Dad, okay, Dad, okay, Dad, because I'm working on saying less and more coming out. Does that make sense?
That's
because
great.
it's hard to navigate, though, because there's a lot of great things about each individual food product.
I love that.
I've learned, this is my solution for that.
Yeah.
My solution is, if someone asks me about food, I'll say, do you want the long story, the short story, or you just want a quick fix?
Yeah.
And if they want a quick fix, I'll be like, well, Google it. Not to be mean, but if that's what you want, that's what that's for. You know, I'm not going to waste their time. That's the last thing in the world I want to do with folks. And Americans being where we are right now, you know, I think it's more important than any other time in our American history that we gather and that we be kind to each other, and that we listen to each other. When I was a big drinker and in the drug world or whatever, I noticed that when you go to a bar, most people go to bars to be heard. The alcohol is just a perk. That's just a perk. So
what are you doing now, Chef?
What I'm doing right, we're searing, again, back to the illusion.
You're good.
We're searing these, so we brown them a little bit on the edges, which will also render some of that moisture out of them. And
smells amazing.
It's a trip. It's really a trip. Like, again, like I was, before the cameras came on, I was letting you know that I tested it on some people that were from the Chesapeake Bay region. And I said, yeah, I got a seafood Creole for you. They were locals, so it was okay. And they weren't going to get mad or anything, but they swore up and down there were scallops. They swore up and down that was crab. I just let it ride. And I was like, wow, I think I got a winner. But I knew that this would help some folks, because a lot of the vegan food I've tasted in this town, and I eat meat, but on occasion, I'm not one to just gorge.
I was really excited about this recipe tonight. Those of you that know me know that I am a vegan, and this excites me. But when you think about our topic tonight, Chef, eating well to prevent type 2, why is this something that you selected for us? And are there anything that you would encourage anyone when they go and they pick a meal that they want to make sure that it's something that they're eating well to prevent type 2? Any suggestions or?
The largest suggestion would be looking at the time of year.
Yeah.
And again, cooking by color. And if you're a type 2 diabetic, you should carry a chart on your phone or on a pad and paper, so that you don't go overboard, or you get a sugar spike and not good things happen. It's not a good idea. So
our goal is to prevent type 2.
Yes. So in order to prevent it, eat well. The new term is clean eating. So it's about color for me, and what I've noticed is the more colorful the vegetable it is, the better it is for you. We have to be conscious about what we're consuming before we even put it on the plate, before we put it even in our bag. We have to read the instructions. We have to read the ingredients. We have to choose to live. And if you do any, if I used to eat a half a gallon of ice cream every night.
No way.
Not gonna lie to you. Seriously, and a lot of soda.
Not you.
Yeah, and a lot of soda. It was out of control. I was totally out of control. But I thought, like, well, if I'm not drinking alcohol, I might as well be doing this, which isn't good.
Right.
And within, it wasn't even 3 years, I developed hyperglycemia. And I wasn't mad at myself or anything. The blessing is that I have a few naturopaths on my team, and I'm a chef, and I should know a lot of these things, but I was beating myself up first before I took care of the situation. So I started with eating breakfast. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But a good balanced breakfast, whether it be granola and...
Can I help with anything?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay.
Whether it be granola and yogurt of some sort or just fruit.
Yeah.
But those fruits had to be specific fruits. So the preventative thing is a lot easier than what people think. And if you incorporate exercise in your diet, you know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be... When people hear exercise, they get... Okay, I got to do all this running. I got to get a whole outfit first before they even exercise. They're not even like,
there.
it's not even like that. And
You feel better when you look good, though.
I guess I don't know.
know.
Now you can start flipping them. But I don't know, because my body is what do you call it?
Great job, Elijah.
Yeah,
I'm
really
listening.
good job.
Go for it.
My metabolism goes really, really fast. So I've had dietitians try to help me. I've had coaches, all these things, and
That's great.
I can't gain weight. So we're just going to put this in the trash.
All right.
I can't gain weight. So, and if I get sick, I'm losing all kinds of weight. So it's a trip, man. So
How important is portion control?
extremely important. Nobody needs, when they're brown like this, like that there, that's when you take them out, okay?
Great job,
Thank
Elijah.
you. Yeah, really good job.
Yeah.
And if you step on this side, it might be a hair easier for you, and I'll move this one forward for you. So
Good
come
job,
to this
kiddo.
side, maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
Portion control is extremely important. Nobody needs a 14-ounce steak. Nobody needs a 16-ounce breast of chicken stuffed with cheese and bacon. Nobody needs that. So if we focus on the fact that I think the cuisine tapas, the Spanish style, like light meals, intermittently all throughout the day, that's what I think of when I think of folks wanting to gain control. You know what I mean? Like 2 ounces here, 4 ounces here, 6 ounces here. But if you're going to eat the protein, allow the animal protein to be an accessory to the vegetables and the complex carbohydrates. Does that make sense?
I love that.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Well, again, what we're doing now is just browning these scallops. And use this one, baby, so you don't scrape the bottom. Browning these scallops, so it gives the illusion, again, but the cool part is the texture. When I did this and I ate it, and I was like, whoa, identical to a sea scallop.
That's the part I
It's
was
a
so
trip.
excited
It's a
about when you were
trip.
telling me about that, when you were
It's a
talking about the
trip.
texture. So I'm so excited to try that tonight.
And a part of me is like, I wish I were not telling the truth, because it's like, how did this happen? How come no one else did this before me? Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting, but that's the point I'm making. You know, with food, food is an inanimate but animate object, because the brain source of plants is the mitochondria. We have mitochondria in our body, but this particular mitochondria I'm speaking about is the brain source of plants. The brain, mind, and spirit of the plant. And it does what it's told to do by the master or Mother Nature, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's really, really, for me, is intense. Again, we haven't even tapped into what we can accomplish if we eat clean and if we're cognitive about what we're consuming. And when I say that, I mean, when I was working at Poshine's, I'd see folks come in a business suit, get a chicken fried steak, extra gravy, 5 eggs, and grits and hash browns. What are you going to do with all that? Like, I would fall asleep. So it was hard for me to believe, you're really going back to work? I'd ask them that, are you really going back to work? You're just going to take a nap in the parking lot? Because anybody, it's a carbo load, and we don't want to do that to ourselves. There was a time in America, when we work the fields and things of that nature, very like physical labor, that makes sense. But if you're sitting at a desk, portion control is even more important. So that and exercise.
And I know I giggled a little bit on that, but that is a real challenge for many. Yes. Do you have any suggestions on how someone can kind of just take baby steps? Like, where to start? Like, if you're really, really challenged in that area, where do you start? What do you do?
You could start with just, as long as the regimen that you created for yourself or borrowed or been taught is consistent. You can literally do, and people don't believe this, you can do 15 minutes of exercise every day as long as it's consistent. You're going to see results. And you just gotta, A, be patient with yourself, B, realize that you're worth it, and C, realize that you're worth it. Because like a few leg lifts, while you're doing something else, you're good, you're good.
That's good.
So we have Amelia Lopez-Erickson, that's Chef James is awesome. And then we have Monifa.
You just want a brown.
Yay, hey Monifa.
Thank y'all, and thank y'all.
Yay.
Yeah, this is great, Do you want to taste one of these scallops before we get really crazy with this?
Is it that time?
Yeah.
No way.
You can taste it.
How do I do it? Do I need to give me something to poke it with?
Find a little fork for you.
Right over there.
Thank you, Elijah.
All right. Thanks, Elijah. You know this kitchen better than me. I appreciate that.
Do you want one too?
Yes, please and thank
Elijah,
you.
do you want
but
one
I'd like you to go first.
Okay. Elijah's doing all the work. He should
go
first.
He is.
You are a great help. Okay.
And taste from here.
Thank
Taste
you.
from here, son, so you don't burn your face off, all right?
All right, do I just grab one from here?
I think this is going to be the perfect one for you.
Okay. Portion control.
Yes. Portion.
I love it. All right, do I just like...
Just eat it.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
You're amazing. Oh.
Incredible.
I can't believe that. You were so
It's
right
weird.
with the
It's
texture
weird.
and everything.
It's the weirdest thing. It's a weird.
That
I mean,
is
all
like-
the way. You know, like a scallop is connected to a shell, and they have a foot inside there.
I
you
love
know,
it.
all the way down to the tree.
I don't even need to
so
know all that
crazy.
part, but it was good.
It's crazy.
It was good, Chef. I love
Like I
it.
said, it doesn't make any sense, but here we are.
That was great.
The funny thing is, I couldn't wait to share this concept
Aw.
with people. So at the restaurant that I was at for a while,
Yay.
I sold it to the people that were honestly interested, and just left the rest, you know, to be the rest.
This is
so
what I'm ready to try.
what we're gonna do, I'm gonna wash this pan out. I'm gonna wash this pan out real quick, and we're gonna put all these ingredients in one container.
Whoa.
I'm gonna show you what it really looks like.
I'm so excited. That's super
It's
cool.
exciting though, right?
What'd you say, Elijah?
The crab cakes are the best.
The crab cakes are the best. Are you going to help out with us too? You do. Now, kiddo, tell us a little bit about you. What do you enjoy most about cooking or helping your dad in the kitchen?
I get to hang out with him.
You get to hang out with your dad?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that's pretty much it.
And I heard you started using a knife at what, age 4? Goodness, do you remember that?
No.
No? You're pretty good. You cut up the tomatoes and you cut up some of the other ingredients here today too. So it was really awesome
And what
to
we
see you
did,
do
we
that.
got them for those viewers, if you're interested in your kids getting knife skills and stuff. They're like little plastic knives, but they look like chef knives, but they're extremely effective. Like you look at them and you're like, nah, that's a joke. And then you use them like, whoa, this is real. You can't cut yourself,
Right.
but they're effective. They're effective. So
I love that.
And what better way to keep your children attentive than, you know, incorporating them in the management of food, but also, I think that's a key point too, I forgot to speak about. Like if you add whatever you're doing to be preventative for type 2, allow your children to understand what's going on with you. Allow them to draw them into it. And once they're in, they're going to be the best reminders. They're going to be all over it. If the food tastes good, they're going to be all over it. And you'll be like, wow, this is incredible. Because they want us to stay here forever. We want to stay here forever. And we want to have fun while we're doing it and be nourished at the same time. So you really can't be mad, really. But it also sets them up to set us up and then to spread the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the internet, a great form of entertainment, but advertisement also. But these young folks are so ahead of us. That's all we really need to do is give them a seed. They're going to know where to plant it. You know what I mean? A lot further than what we think we know, because 9 times out of 10, adults, we mess it up real bad. We do, because we get ahead of ourselves and we think that, we're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that's not the truth. So there you have it. So now we're going to brown these cakes.
All right. Elijah, you got that too?
You'll have to remind me how to do
Yeah.
Or do you want me to? Oh.
You could just bring this tray over to here.
Awesome.
So that'll give him some.
Do we need the towel over there too?
No, we put the towel underneath so it doesn't slide and create a problem.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll get this, oil, olive oil, and we are using olive oil, folks. Why? Because grocery outlet, you can find it cheap. But, no, jokes. We use olive oil because it's a high density lipoprotein. What does that mean? That means that it helps your body to metabolize food more effectively and more efficiently in comparison to a low density lipoprotein, which would be a saturated fat. That could be, I grew up eating, we weren't allowed to use veggie oil and or butter. Butter was for the holiday seasons. Veggie oil we just didn't use, and that was it. So as a child, I didn't know too much. I was like, okay, I guess this is what we do. But we reserved our bacon fat, so that's good right there as long as it's nice and even. There we go. But that's why our family uses olive oil. So I implore all of you to use olive oil, even if you go as far as, there was a regiment my grandfather had. It was a tablespoon of olive oil every day. Tablespoon of olive oil, tablespoon of blackstrap molasses, and then apple cider vinegar. Yeah, I think that's it. But he said it'll make you live long. He lived to 90-something.
Oh.
So something worked.
Grandpa was telling the truth.
Yeah, that and pumpkin seeds. Like
Pumpkin
I never saw he hunted. He worked at Bethlehem Steel Mill. Never saw the man.
Pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seeds.
What?
Yeah.
Pumpkin seeds.
Exactly. And I learned to like them because when I go hunting with him, you know what I mean? I had to learn to like them because that's the only thing he brought.
Love it. All right, what are we doing now?
We are waiting for this oil to get a little hotter because we want to brown these. And after we brown both sides, it's not a raw product. It's already cooked straight from nature. You don't have to temp it or anything as long as it's warm. So we're going to brown both sides, sit that to the side, and then we're going to saute up our onions first, then our cherry tomatoes. Then we'll add these little baby poblanos. We'll deglaze with this marinara sauce. Then we'll add margarine to give it a sheen and to finish it a little better. And then we'll add our scallops. And I got some brown rice already cooked, and we'll be good to go.
Did you already tell us what those were made of?
Oh, these are made of lion's mane mushrooms.
I had so much fun here in this apartment. Elijah helped. Yeah, that was really cool.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a big old mushroom. They look like this.
So cool looking.
Yeah, it's neat. They look like that.
It was so fun to pull apart. Yeah.
And they're reminiscent, or they look a lot like when the striations look like crab. So that's where I was like, that would be a good idea. So these are great for restorative cells in your brain. They're also good for your gut. They're also good they also lower glycemic index. These guys lower glycemic index. So it's just, it's an amazing fruit. And if you can't get it in this form, there's a powdered form that you can get. It's kind of at grocery.
Just ask Elijah.
But the powdered form is quicker. You know what I mean? If you're not a mushroom person, you can make a tea of it or what have you.
You can make tea?
Yeah, you can make like just that mushroom powder and maybe matcha, which has no caffeine in it. But you could drink that on the daily and watch yourself feel better. It gives you energy.
Okay.
Again, good for
we
the gut.
all need that, right?
Yeah, regenerative stuff for the brain.
Love it.
I think the list is about 20 or 30 great things for the body, like and it's in a mushroom. Like, so we, you know what I mean? It's like, what in the world? How did I miss this? How did I miss it? Well, we did. And how do we know our oil is a little hotter when it is doing what it's supposed to do? We'll get like a light smoke on the top, but we're going to turn this up a hair.
Cool.
Am I doing this incorrectly? I get funny. Yeah, I'll need a hand. Thanks a lot. I don't want to break y'all's stuff.
No, we want to come back. No, just kidding. Yeah.
But it's we've taken that mushroom and just pulled it apart, added salt, cracked black pepper, Old Bay, a little bit of lemon juice. If you are a meat eater and you're shifting, it would be great, or might make it easier for you if you use egg whites as a binder, and then saltine crackers or Ritz crackers. And back home, we don't add too much filler to our crab cakes. You can be shut down for that, or people will talk real bad about you in your face, at church, in the grocery store, all that. So don't do that. So
You used a term earlier. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
you're good.
Glycemic index. What is that? I think
that-
I know, but just for our viewers.
For our viewers, that tells you whether or not your sugar is high or too low. If it's too low, it's a problem, right? And if it's too high, that could be a problematic also. We need a happy balance. We need a nice even balance. What all that means is, I guess a good example would be a more clearer example. A lot of people drink diet soda. Okay?
Yeah.
And with those diet sodas, a lot of folks don't recognize that those sugars that's in there to sweeten it is all synthetic. The brain lives on, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, fat.
Would that include those pops that have like 0 you know, like
Those
that
are the
too?
ones.
Those
Those
two.
are
Okay.
the ones, and
All right.
they're very, very dangerous. And this is why they're dangerous. Once you drink it, your body, the pancreas is what produces insulin. So it'll go, whoa, there's a lot of sugar in the body. What do? It sends insulin out to metabolize that, but there is no real sugar. So it's almost like crying wolf.
Okay.
After a while, your body's like, whoa, we keep getting all this and it's not there, so what do? Your body will stop producing insulin, and now we got a problem.
Now we got a real problem.
Now we got
Yep.
a problem, and how to reverse that is not difficult, it just takes maintenance. It takes maintenance. So don't drink diet soda,
Diet or the 0 stuff, right?
Yes,
Okay.
aspartame, anything, and this is an exaggeration, anything, I feel like it's anything that ends in aim. It's weird.
Interesting.
But check it out. Go ahead and add those
You got
quickly.
it, kiddo.
But yeah, those synthetic sugars aren't good because the brain
Like
needs
the
fat.
Gatorade Zero stuff.
Yeah, like the Gatorade Zero or Diet Coke or whatever. Please stay away from them because they're
So,
problematic.
Elijah, you don't drink Gatorade Zero?
No.
No. That's
Tried
great.
it once.
Yeah.
One time, huh?
And I think you got a headache immediately. And they also, if I'm not incorrect in saying, you could develop cancer from these things. And
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
so what we're saying in a nutshell is the FDA only knows so much, but they'll promote a product that they need to sell. Money is more important than our lives. So if we find ourselves in a place where our body starts to decline in certain ways, we need to back up and refocus and read the instructions, ask those questions. Why? Because it's necessary and our lives are important. To whom? To each other. We
Yes.
can't do nothing without each other. Y'all remember COVID? It was rough. It was rough, that one there.
We'll never forget it.
Yeah, I hope that you wouldn't, because it was, it taught me a lot about the human condition.
Yeah.
Seriously, because a lot of people don't, there's that, you're gonna need to come to this side, because if you're stretching, you're gonna hurt yourself. A lot of people use that term, I'm doing me. It's like, okay, well, where does that leave your neighbor?
Very true.
Or where does that leave that dude on the side of the road who needed your help? Like, you can't say things like that, because you never know when you're gonna need somebody. So, there you go. You gotta let it brown just a hair. Okay?
But you do want to make sure self is taken care of
Yeah.
before you take care of others,
That's
though,
funny
right?
you say that. I'm
Yeah.
learning. I've had a crash course in that in the last year.
Yeah.
Why? Because when I was working at that job, I was working 16-hour days, about 7 days a week.
I remember you sharing
Yeah,
that.
and it was, I don't think anybody really, you gotta wait a minute because it's gonna, okay.
You're doing great, kiddo.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are made of lion's mane mushroom, if I didn't already say it. Farmer's market would be the better option. New seasons, I believe they have them at $24 a pound, which is way too much for anybody to pay.
I love New Seasons.
I do love it, but
They have the spray.
which spray?
They put spray.
Yeah, I already talked to them about that. The water? Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
great
you can
reminder.
find them, get them. If you can't, speak to this young lady, and I have some hookups that if there's some folks who need it, I have a purveyor for it, and I just found the guy maybe 2 weeks ago, but he grows and harvests every 2 weeks. So you'd be
That's
getting
amazing.
lion's mane and the golden, there's a golden.
Lion's Mane, that's where we did this. Oh,
Yep,
that's
out of lion's
amazing.
mane, yep. And there's a
Wow.
golden oyster mushroom, there's a black teacup
Mm.
mushrooms, but mushrooms are going to become a lot more, I think everybody's going to be incorporating lion's mane in their diet.
I'm excited
and
about
other
that.
wild mushrooms, because it's just something we forgot. We thought there was button mushrooms and portobellos, and The rest just got pushed to the side.
That's so exciting.
So we're just browning those, so it gives them the color, gives them the flavor. The browning will bring out the low-level sugars that are in the lion's mane.
Oh, to my virtual wellness gathering, folks, I wish you were here.
I know, really.
I know. This would have been so great for you all to try.
Yeah, it's a trip.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. We'll do a different kind of thing. If not crab cakes, we'll do something else.
Sounds good.
Yeah, exactly.
Vegan?
Yes, yes, yes. And again, I'm not a vegan person, but
I know.
I paid a lot of attention to like different cultures that are vegan. Like Japanese folks, they could tend to be more vegan. East Indian people, they could tend to lean toward that for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter because it's a totally different conversation. But
Yeah. Did
there's
you
a lot
know
of-
that black women are like the highest and the fastest growing vegan population
believe
in
it.
America right now?
I think that's a great thing.
And did you know that Rosa Parks was a vegan too?
I could believe that.
Yeah,
That makes
she
sense.
looked amazing, didn't she?
Well,
Not that everyone else didn't, but yeah,
Well,
she was
it-
like, yeah.
again, like, I mean, EJ and I were talking, Elijah and I were talking. He's like, what's better for you, warm or cold water? I said, it's room temperature, what your body temp is. So your stomach isn't fighting so hard to get that water to temp so you can metabolize it. So,
That's so
I
good.
eat, my wife gets on me because everyone sits down at the table and eat. I'll wait until mine is room temp and I'll eat it because it's a fight to eat it. It's a fight for your body to do all that work when it just wants to serve you better.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
And-
that's really good.
yeah, it's true. It's sad but true because,
It just makes sense.
yeah, you would think so. You would think so, but everybody don't think it makes sense and they think it's hard.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that one dead center, okay? I'm gonna slide these jokers over here. The cool thing about vegan stuff is,
Tastes better.
It tastes better.
a lot of vegan stuff I've eaten doesn't taste all that good. I'm just being
I've had
honest.
some good vegan stuff. Yeah.
Have you have?
Oh yeah.
Good,
Oh yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're making vegan food, make sure you put some seasoning on there. 'Cause a lot of folks don't season it. They just think, the people I've come across, like they think vegetarian and vegan stuff and micro and macrobiotic stuff doesn't taste good. Like it should.
The seasoning.
It should, but a lot of people who have just been turned on to this, they think that because they're on this particular diet, it shouldn't taste good. It should taste good. It should.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't make it, why wouldn't it taste good? It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
Want your body to taste good then.
I love it, Elijah. Yay.
So after we pull this last crab cake out, we're gonna saute these things up in the same pan, not gonna hurt anything.
Awesome.
We're gonna add the rest of this broth, which has been reduced, and how it got thick was just the elements that are already in the mushroom. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So we can go ahead and pull that one. Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to do anything. It's not all the way.
Well, it's the neat part is it's all raw, so it's not, and the rawness, there's no blood, no nothing. So which is
Right,
the
that
perk.
part.
It's a plus. It's a plus. So we'll start with our onions.
You said it.
And it's kind of same thing as cooking shrimp.
What do you mean? Well, the shrimp's raw, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Lightly cooked.
They're still sauteing it.
Got it. And saute means high heat, little oil.
I love it.
All right. There's a corner left of this olive oil. We're going to use it all up.
Can I do anything?
Oh, sure, if you'd like to. We could switch it up, and I can get him to do something else. You can just stir these onions.
Cool.
All right.
You good, Elijah?
Thank you. And Elijah?
You said just stir them?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Awesome.
going to have you. What you're going to do is gather all that, what you call, all that stuff around the edges. It's called fond. F-O-N-D, fond. You had a wooden spoon. What'd you do with the wooden spoon?
I put it right.
So there's stuff on the bottom of the pan she's working with.
All right.
Anytime you saute something, there's a residual that's going to be left over in the bottom of the pan. The technical term is fond. That's flavor. So with that being said, in order to get that fond off of the bottom of the pan, we could use a broth and then some sort of acetate. It could be vinegar. Back in the day, they used white wine, red wine, this, that, and the other. These days, I just say add a liquid that would complement the product. That's it. Okay, now we're going to add this tomato product to what you got going on. So we took the residual broth that we poached it in. Elijah's going to marry the two, make sure that's well incorporated. Don't stir too hard. It ain't a crazy stir. It's just stir.
I
Here we
really appreciate, Chef, how you make cooking sound so fun.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna marry the two.
And this is how I realized, when I realized I had a gift, like, I didn't really get it. Like, I was like, what? Anyway, I learned that I could produce food products for people who couldn't stand whatever I was cooking, but I found a way to have them enjoy it.
Yay.
So I don't know if it's about the person. I have no idea.
This
but
smells amazing.
yeah, what I do know is that it's effective. So that's where I'm at. Then we got some fresh sage.
All right.
Because it should be fun, you know what I mean? You want to have,
Yes.
you want to be in good spirits when you're producing food for yourself,
That
but
part.
especially for somebody else.
Right.
Because when I've had more restaurants than Poshines, but I would often let my employees know, if you were having some mental problems or whatever, if you got a foul mood before you come in my kitchen, don't. You can call me an hour ahead of time. You can call me 10 minutes. If you feeling funky, don't bother
Don't come
coming in. Because that's not going to help our people that
Right.
enjoy the food that we have. It's going to be a deterrent to good food and good service.
Yeah.
They would agree, but if you're feeling funky, maybe ask somebody else to cook for you, because our energy is linked right into that pan. How you
Okay.
feel is going to be in that pan. And you could possibly get somebody sick, my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion, because it's just, you know, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, because that don't want to do is going to be all up in that pan.
Now just keep
Keep stirring,
stirring.
yeah.
Sounds good.
And we're almost there. Once we get to that, once you see me add that margarine in there, you're good to go.
Yay.
Whoop. And I just added a little water. Again, you could just use a little broth. And EJ, you can find us a white plate, because we're about to plate stuff up. Bam.
Amazing.
Cool. Wonderful. That was great. And we're going to add
Sweet.
these guys in. It can't hurt to do it now.
Ah, I love
Those are our
it.
scallops, or faux scallops. F-A-U-X. Faux.
F-U-A-X.
Is it F-U, or I thought it was F-A-U?
Is it? I
Faux?
don't know. I
Meaning
was
fake?
asking.
We'll
Cool.
see. We'll find that out in a minute. There's no white plates. White. I can't stand anything else.
Oh.
All right. And we're going to
Love
put a thimble of rice right in the center so we can present this properly. EJ,
Yeah.
look in this drawer, the second drawer, please. And thank you.
What do you need? Silverwood?
No, we're going to use this guy. What you're going to do is spoon some of this hot rice up to the top. You understand? And then pack it down nice and tight. And that's going to go in the center.
Those rices nice?
Oh, this smells absolutely amazing.
working for you?
Yes.
All right, good.
My stomach is growling.
And as a Southerner, like, we finish everything with butter because we ain't got no sense, but also because we like butter. But when you finish your sauces or what have you with butter, we're not doing, remember, just take your time, flip it over. Did you pack it in there well? The butter back home was used to, because we're having tomato product, that tomato product can kind of be acidy in the back of the throat. So that butter would finish it and would take the acid away, but it also leaves a really nice sheen.
And this butter is vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You got it.
Did you make it?
Did I make the butter? I got friends who make me products and they want me to try the products, and so that's, I can make it, but if I'm in a pickle, I'll use margarine.
I was waiting to see how long
Because
it's going to
there's
take
no-
you to say pickle. You use pickle all this.
A lot of people laugh at me about it. What do you mean a
A
pickle? You're just in a real predicament. That's good right there.
I love that. Oh, I could tell the difference, Chef, when you put the
See that?
yes.
Big difference.
Yes,
Big
yes.
difference. But it also finishes well too, so you're,
Our magic rice. It
Yeah.
just finished itself.
And this is brown rice, complex carbohydrate. Stay away from those potatoes. All those simple carbohydrates will just get you in nothing but trouble.
All right, where do I go from here?
And
Stop
we
it.
could turn this guy off. You
Awesome.
can just hit that button right. Oh, I think I did it right.
You did it?
Look at me.
Go, Chef.
And we're gonna give you the back of this here so you can taste the sauce.
Do I keep mixing this?
Nah, I think you're good. Go ahead and
Awesome.
just give it that sauce a taste.
How do I do that?
Just with the back of this, you just
You
stir it
can tell I
around,
don't
give it a
cook
taste.
much.
Yeah.
Go like that?
Good,
Go like
good.
this?
Yes, ma'am.
And then like that?
Taste it. Yeah. That way there's no contaminants.
Amazing.
Is that all right?
It's great. Yay.
You want to try, EJ?
That's really good.
And we didn't add any, we didn't add more salt than we needed to, just enough.
Look what we did together.
That's good.
That's good. Huh?
That's good.
Oh, let me take it. Thank you.
Now, we just dish it up, and we're going to be
Yay.
happy as clams.
I love it.
I just said happy as clams.
Plans are happening.
Clams. I was gonna say that, huh?
Well, the illusion is that they're happy. And
Right.
I don't know,
That looks
back
so
to
good.
why I'm just excited about what I do and what I'm willing to share. I have a gift, and gifts are to be shared.
Yay.
I didn't ask for this gift, man. It drives me crazy sometimes, honestly. But it's meant to be shared, and if I can't share it, I'm not going to be as content as I could be. So there's that.
Look at that.
And why I'm saying that is because you don't have to be a chef to make your product look good. I don't know, look at a few magazines, pay attention to what you're doing. That's all. And serve it the way
Look at
you would
that.
want to be served. And all of this is from our farm
And our house.
and our house
And your
combination.
house.
These are
That's so cool.
These are nasturtiums right here. They lend a peppery flavor, but you can eat pansies. There's a grip of flowers that you can eat that really help your body.
Could eat
So-
peonies.
Yes, you could eat peonies. We made a
You're so
peony.
smart.
What was it, peony and something jam.
I think that's just a peony.
This is oregano right here, and it flowers. If you wanted to take the time and pull all those blossoms out, we call them in our culinary world salad herbs. So the same with lavender. Lavender's a little too perfumey for me, but there's another one. There's a handful of flowers that lend to wellness in the body. So brown rice, our faux scallops. Then we have these cake-a-madoos.
Yay.
I said cake-a-madoo.
You did. Cake-a-madoos. Cake-a-madoos. What was the other one? Pickle.
That's
Yeah.
what these are called.
Cake-a-madoos and some pickle. And then we have, there we go.
Oh, look at that. That looks amazing.
Yeah. And then we got a
We
chiffonade
did
or a
it.
mincier of fresh basil. And then collard green. I know it sounds crazy, but raw collard green also is good for the body. Helps with that glycemic situation or preventative glycemic situation. So bon appetit, man. Bon appetit.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm so excited.
I hope y'all had fun because I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
You guys rock.
Yeah, I'll lend her some links and my phone number if
Yeah.
people have questions. I'm that guy who doesn't mind if you call and ask about food, no matter how ridiculous the question. The only ridiculous question is a question you didn't ask, because as I take this serious and as I learn wellness for my body and taking time out for me or what have you, as should you, because life is short. And I'm gonna live to 100. I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Cool. Well, this was so much fun.
It's good, right?
Yay.
A
Yeah.
few comments for you, Chef.
Okay.
Yay.
Someone just says, Allison saying hello
Allison.
and learning quite a lot.
Awesome.
And then you have, I don't know if I pronounced this right.
Hey,
Shay,
Allison. Okay.
Loves all the homegrown things.
Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All of you. Thank you.
That's really
And
cool.
experiment. There is no failure in cooking. You just got to eat it.
Yay.
June wants you to make a cookbook.
Okay.
June.
I have
Hi,
one,
June.
and we're getting it together. So give us some time. Probably after the first of the year.
Super cool.
Yeah. And there'll be seasonal cookbooks.
Should be called
Oh, it's so
Chef
smart.
Cuisine.
I
Huh?
love it.
Chef Cuisine.
Yeah, we'll figure out a name for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. What?
So what is that? Thanks to our partners.
Yeah.
And our partners would be Yas Cape Farms, and then Black Future Farms, and Mudbone Farms, and
Love
Freedom
it.
Farm out in Sauvies Island. Just thanks to all the listeners who want to do more for themselves. Don't forget to subscribe, and check out the next class, November 16th, 6 p.m. And please connect with the diabetes prevention program. Is that correct?
Yeah,
All right.
and so as I shared earlier too, and also would love to give a big thank you to all the virtual wellness gathering participants that tuned in tonight and left comments. So glad to know that you're on the other end of this live tonight, as well as our amazing reach team in Multnomah County. So grateful for this opportunity. And again, I'm just so glad that I got this opportunity to be with Chef James and his amazing sidekick Elijah.
Yeah.
This was amazing to know that we did this together and that we came together to share more information about eating well to prevent type 2. So hope you all have a really amazing night.